There's no clever name for Jack today.
Mm-mm. That's all business today.
Let's see. Connected.
Always the fun of the behind the scenes.
Yep. Especially today, though.
Just a tad bit excited to have you on here, Mark.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys wanting me.
Yes, man. It's exciting, man. It's exciting.
I'll tell you what, early on when Javin first said something about getting you on, this was like the first couple of weeks of us doing this. Cause like my very first soiree into this whole world was just interviewing Angel. And, you know, he was like, you want to get Mark Tufo? And I'm like, not yet. Like, let me get better at this first. Okay. Hang on. And then when it finally came time, I'd forgotten that he had said that he could holler at you. And I was like, oh yeah, get him. And so here we are.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Jack, the only reason I really came on was because the check hasn't cleared yet.
It's coming. It's coming. I'm waiting on the other extra donations from Patty, Richard, and Angel.
Gotcha.
Payday's tomorrow, so.
All right, let me see where I'm going live. It's supposed to go live on Javin's feed, but I don't see it going live on Javin's feed. Why not? Why is it not working?
Uh-oh. What are you doing, buddy?
I can send it to the written Undead.
That will have to do.
All right.
Now, would you be able to run it onto my page?
Let me
Hold on.
see.
Yeah, that way it'll be shareable.
Jack, we're on.
Oh. Well, this is the perfect way to open the show, ladies and gentlemen. That is Mark Tufo's English Bulldog. Which one was that? Was that Chloe?
That was Chloe. So if you start hearing snoring, I guarantee you it's her. So I just wanted to make sure that we were all aware it wasn't me.
Okay, and if you happen to pass out, we can assume gas.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again for another episode of the Written Undead podcast. I'm Jack Childress, and I'm joined, as always, by Richard Ryan Rose, Angel Ramon, Patty Fry Raccio. And this week, our special guest is a hero of mine, a hero of all of yours, author of Zombie Fallout, Lycan Fallout, Indian Hill, on and on and on and on. The one, the only, Mark Tufo. How are you doing, my brother?
Good, thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Man, this is just a trip, honestly, for me, because when I first encountered Zombie Fallout 1, it was while I was laying in a hospital bed in the intensive care unit at Baptist Hospital, now St. Thomas Hospital, recovering from some blood clots. And a friend could see that I was depressed. I was bummed. I was just not happy with the world. And he's like, dude, I know you're into like The Walking Dead and whatever. There's this guy, Mark Tufo, and he's got a free Kindle book right now, man. You should go get it. It'll give you something to read. And as they say, the rest is history. I became enamored with all things Talbot verse. And honestly, you got me through a lot of dark times. I'm talking tons of dark times where I was just ready just to say the hell with it, pull the plug, I'm done. And yet I needed to know what Mike was going to do next. And I thank you for that. So when I call you my hero, I am not exaggerating, my brother. You are a hero to me, as I'm sure you are to many of these other authors. So without further ado, guys, let it rip. Let this man have some questions.
Okay, first question. Favorite Pop-Tart flavor?
Oh, God, I love that stupid brown sugar and cinnamon one.
Oh, yeah.
Without fail, every effing time I eat when I get a stomach ache, and I cannot figure out why. So my favorite flavor I can actually freaking eat is blueberry.
I like the blueberry. I like strawberry too.
Chocolate frosted is my favorite.
Not cherry with honey glazed ham frosting.
Well, I knew that was coming at some point.
Yep.
Blueberry for me.
Mmm. A lot of
Oh,
Hello,
blueberry
CA.
things.
Hello,
Hi, CA.
everybody.
Hi.
No.
I had
Oh.
to change computers.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor?
Strawberry always.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Well, nobody said cherry, so I guess we're all on the same page there.
I think everybody's trying to not go toward the cherry stuff. So.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Except
Mark,
Except for Rich.
well, you know, Javin has this thing he likes to do where he tries different foods with Marmite on them. Have you tried
Oh.
that delectable delicacy?
Oh, salted diarrhea.
It's
Mm.
awful,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's a good description of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I had to buy one because all the UKers were like, "This is the best stuff since sliced bread." So I actually bought a jar and tried it. It couldn't hit the trash can fast enough.
That's what mine did.
Did they tell you to have it like on toast with cheese?
It
Yes.
was. I don't. You could put that stuff on a filet mignon. It's still gross.
Yeah, it's nasty. Javin had me try it one time when I was visiting him, and I was like, "Oh God, this is gross." It's like, I don't know, sweaty, like sweat socks or something. Like just how I would imagine that would just taste. I like. ugh, no.
Mhm.
And then the Australians are like, "Well, then try Vegemite." And I'm like, "No, I'm not
Mm.
trying anything with the word
No.
Mite."
I had it when I was in England I think I was 18.
Mm.
And I went to spend 3 weeks in England. I had an aunt and uncle who lived there and had that. It was gross and disgusting. Had it on kind of a bread, kind of a sourdough type of a bread.
It doesn't
With-
matter what you have it on. It's just
No.
gross.
A
I don't know.
toasted bread with a cheese over it, and it would just like you said, it tasted like sweaty socks that had been toasted with cheese over it, and it was
Mm.
gross and disgusting. And my
Yeah.
uncle was always, when he went over to England, he went as a assistant manager from Cameron, and they spent I think about 15 years over there. And so he adopted everything English and thought everything that they had was just to the nines.
Mm.
I tell you what, Mark. I mean, I am chomping at the bit here. I'm sorry. I gotta ask, as a fellow Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti novelist or whatever.
Yes.
So I know you're a Renaissance man when it comes to different genres. You know, you got zombies, you got aliens, you got werewolves and
Ghosts.
ghosts and all kinds of other stuff. And so, what led you to writing a book about Yetis?
I wrote a short about Yetis. We had Mike and BT. They just kind of popped into an alternate universe for a short story.
Mhm.
But I've always enjoyed them. I remember when I was a kid, my brother and I would watch the show like In Search of or something, and they always used to have like Bigfoot or aliens
Oh,
or
in search
Bermuda-
of, yeah.
I remember that. I
the
remember that.
Bermuda Triangle, and
Mhm.
I was like, oh, that is the coolest thing ever. And as far as Yetis or Sasquatch or Abominable Snowman, whatever you want to call it, the idea that they could actually exist, I find awesome. And I it's like, the X-Files, I want to believe. So, and then what was it last year? It's in the airport and Max Brooks, I saw he had that book, Devolution. And I was like, well, I got to read this. And it was all about, he did Bigfoot, right? His big feet.
Yeah, Bigfoot.
That's
And,
racist.
Big
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
Isn't
Sasquatches don't
a
like being
Yeti
called Bigfoot, by the way.
isn't a Yeti a cold version of a Sasquatch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just enjoy, like, is it a genre? I know I enjoy the monster, and I read that book and I was like, geez, I want to do my own. So I was trying to write one, but like I just read the book, so I wanted to be different from his, so now I have Sasquatches instead of Bigfoot.
So have you thought about maybe carrying that a little further out? I mean, because I granted you ended it, pretty much okay. We're good here. We're done. But is it crossed your mind to maybe, what the hell? Let's go a little further with this.
I've thought about it, because I get a lot of people that are pissed off about Gus. So if for those of you that haven't read it or aren't done, Gus shows up in the book and then kind of goes away. I won't give any more than that.
No spoilers, because we got the slackers over here that are way behind. So yeah,
It's all right.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, Jack, put me on the spot, man.
hey, that's what I do. It's my job.
Anyway, Mark, I got a question for you. I've always wanted to ask. Are you a bacon eater? And if you are, what goes well with bacon for you?
What doesn't go well with bacon? God, I don't.
Marmite does not go well with bacon.
That's the only thing.
You had to go and spoil it.
Yeah, well done, Jack.
Again, it's what I do.
I don't know. I'm a huge bacon fan, but I guess if you want to step that up, if you wrap bacon around a scallop,
Oh
man,
yeah. Oh yeah.
that's some good stuff right there.
I've
That
actually
is-
tried wrapping bacon around a nice chicken breast with cheese on it. Hey, go for it, man. Oh,
No, I wouldn't turn up my nose.
Hey, you ever
I-
had bacon on a donut?
I have.
yes.
We were out. We did the World Horror Con. I think it was in Seattle or somewhere up that way, and the Voodoo Donuts.
Yeah,
Oh,
It was-
yes,
Voodoo
I heard of
Donuts.
that. Yes.
It was hilarious. We're a bunch of authors at this hotel, and the Voodoo truck. I didn't even know they had a Voodoo donut truck pulls up. There's like 20 authors running for this friggin' donut truck, and yeah, they had a bacon maple glazed donut. It was out of this friggin' world.
That sounds good.
It was
Jeez.
good.
Why do I
But
get a
the
feeling
best
we're all
thing-
going to be hungry by the time this is over?
Yeah, but now the best thing in the world is ice cream with bacon bits on it. That is and a friend sent me one day. She sent me chocolate chip cookies with bacon bits on it. Wonderful.
That sounds good with caramel.
Ooh,
Oh yes,
definitely.
Yes,
yes.
I've never had it.
Well,
Yep. It's
Stay-
trying to expand and it's trying to expand and find out what the hype is all about.
right. So now, Mark, are you currently reading or listening to anybody right now that has just got you just hooked?
It's funny. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I love entering that world. I don't generally do audiobooks, but I'm doing Harry Potter series with Jim Dale reading. He's talented cat. So
Yeah, he does those books really well.
yeah, and I've got what's kind of bummed out is I just bought the Wheel of Time. Okay, so let me back up.
Okay.
I take the dogs on rides every day because they're spoiled, rotten bullies, and bulldogs don't walk, we ride.
Mhm.
And then so I have the audiobooks on, and I'm on book 6 of Harry Potter, so I was stressing out because I'm gonna be done soon. So I bought the Wheel of Time, and I just popped it in just to check it out. And I was like, oh no, I don't like the narrator so much. And I think Jim Dale has kind of messed me up in regards to that. So we shall see.
You know what? That's how I feel with about Sean Renette. I guess I get so when I listen to your books on audio, he just does them so well that when I go bounce to a different book and it's not him, it's like an adjustment period for me for
Yeah.
some reason. It's like and then I'm like, oh, okay, this guy or this lady is doing really good, okay, whatever. But there's some kind of like a little period of adjustment there for me, just because I don't know. I think because I've read a lot of or listened to a lot of your stuff on Audible back to back, that once you have like so many days of reading that having that one person narrating to you, right? Like it's just, I don't know, it's kind of jarring a little bit, but
I lucked out. I cannot even explain how much I lucked out that I got Sean Renette. And
How did that happen?
oh God, I wish I could take credit. I can take zero, absolutely less than zero credit. I had signed with Tantor Audiobooks way back in 2011 when the series had just kind of started. And they're like, we want to do your audiobooks. And I was like, whatever. I don't even know what an audiobook is. Go nuts. Because all I remember from audiobooks is my mom listening in the kitchen on cassettes.
Yeah,
and
books on tape.
Yes.
on a
Yes.
crappy little
From
tape
the
player.
library.
Yep.
Just horrible. Sound like a tin can, some
Yep. I remember. Yep.
So Tantor gets the rights, and then they contact me about 2-3 months later, and they're like, "Hey, we got this guy, Sean Runette. He's gonna do your books." I'm like, "Don't care, don't know who he is, never heard of him." I didn't even listen to a sample. I was like, "That's
Wow.
great." I know. And then come to find out, he is Mike Talbot. And that dude is. I've met Sean Runette a couple times now, and he is the funniest motherfucker I have ever met. Like, that dude has no filter. I mean, if he is thinking
That's
it,
funny.
it comes out of his mouth. I'm like, dude, you are literally Michael Talbot. I couldn't have lucked out anymore if I had tried.
And I reached out to him.
Yeah, man.
I reached out to him. I reached out to Sean Runette directly on ACX when I was when I put my book out there for recording, and thank God I ended up with a great narrator. And but I reached out to Sean Runette and I said, just gave him a message, hey, here's my book. If you're interested, just tell me what your price would be, because I didn't want to make a lowball offer and insult him, because he's a big name, and I never heard back from him. But of course, like Richard R. Rose, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
He's not on social media. He's actually fairly difficult to get a hold of. So I actually
Wow.
unfortunate, because we used to talk a lot. I haven't actually talked to him in about 2-3 years. So
Damn.
yeah,
Even with him doing the like Devil's Desk and all that, you still didn't actually
no.
talk to one of. Wow.
Well, now I'm contracted through Audible, so I don't even have. I send Audible the file. Audible sends the file to him. And then so they're the middleman as opposed to him and me talking.
So you got a thing with Podium Publishing? Is that how that works?
I did a few books with Podium. I think I actually still have 1 or 2 titles with them. But the only reason I told Podium if I was going to sign with them that I was going to bring my narrator, and they were fine with it. So
they better be. Jeez.
yeah, I can't imagine switching. Oh my gosh, I'd freaking.
Oh.
We'd
Yeah,
revolt.
people would riot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That a lot of civic unrest on
You'd
that.
have a fight on your hands there.
Dude, I'm telling you, you could write a cookbook and have Sean Runette narrate it, and it'd be a bestseller. I'm just putting it out.
I believe it.
I know not everyone's a fan, but the books I feel like he did the best, that he embodied the character the most, were the Tim books.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
That's the first book series I've ever listened to where I literally had points where I had to be like, because as he's just trying to get the stupid zombie to at least take its clothes off before it, spoiler alert, it's like, God. But it was still one of the most fascinating, fun reads. And like I said, he nails that character. And the new book, let's just say, yeah. But anywho, so are you planning on doing anything completely unexpected as far as another book series?
Oh, I got my historical romance series will be coming out the end of the year.
Nice.
No.
Mike and BT finally hook up.
Dudes in kilts, man. Dudes in kilts. It sells.
Yeah. No, bare chested too.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually doing a little bit more genre hopping coming up. I've got God, I hate to say it because I've been working on it now for 2-3 years, if not longer, but a fantasy book I want to finish up. And then,
Awesome.
I'm actually looking at a thriller, see if I can pull one of those off. And then something else that I'll keep a little tight to the vest. But that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, how much beer would I have to send you to get you to do a standalone book based around Drababon's backstory?
Well, that'd be fun. I mean, there's honestly a bunch of characters I would love to do a standalone on. It's just God, I know as authors here that most of you know, it's the series that sell. You have the standalones. I don't know. I mean, personally, I feel like probably my best book might be The Spirit Clearing, but that's a standalone. And I don't know if I could.
Great book.
I couldn't pay for coffee with the royalties from that book. So I don't know. I do enjoy standalones, but they don't always pay the bills.
Well, I'll tell you, The Spirit Clearing, that one actually gave me chills. When it got to the big reveal, I literally, every hair on my body was standing up like, oh, how did I not see that coming?
Appreciate it.
That was just a trip. And I still want a backstory on Mike Dyes retrieving a CD.
Yeah. I could probably do that too.
I don't think anybody here is going to stop you.
Yeah, I saw that on the timeline. I still have no clue where that comes from. I guess maybe we'll find that out later in life. But
I think it was probably I don't know if Trip or Tommy had alluded to it.
It was mentioned somewhere in one of the books, and I can't remember which one, but it was told that in one of his other lives, that's what happened to him. He was also like adopted or something, or maybe something like that.
What sucks is I'm sure it's not going to come as any great surprise. I'm a stoner, so and I've got all of these friggin' books with all this lore, and then a lot of my readers, fans know the stuff better than I do. And and then they'll ask me this random question from a book I wrote 8 years ago. I'm like, dude, I have no clue, man.
8 years, yeah, that's a long time. Mark, I just wanted to get a little more detail about the historical romance. Do you have it? What time period are you looking on?
He's not actually doing it.
It would definitely.
Got Angel all excited.
Scotland. Yeah, it would definitely be
Yeah,
Scotland.
is it a bodice ripper?
There will be lots of heaving breasts, I would imagine.
I only ask because I'm a huge historical fiction freak, so that's the only reason I ask.
Yeah, well, it was a joke.
Yeah, but this guy Angel actually has a zombie dragon in his, so top that.
I probably I have a Trip, so that's the best I can do.
Yeah,
you do. And speaking of Trip, where did that come from? Where did he come from in that crazy brain of yours?
Well, see, he evolved because Trip, I don't know. I introduced him in Zombie Fallout 6. He was supposed to just be a throwaway character. I was gonna kill him almost immediately. And if you notice in ZF6, I put him into 3 or 4 situations right off the bat where I'm just gonna end him. And he just kept sticking around. So I'm like, well, shit, he is fun to write. I think we'll stick with him for a bit. But as far as Trip, and it's probably an amalgamation of folks I've known over the years. Definitely led some colorful times.
Well, going along with that same vein of thought on a character, kind of frightening to know where this is about to go. Vivian Damned Deneau. Please tell me that's not a real person.
Not to that extreme, but she has roots in reality.
Oh, okay.
We'll leave it there so I don't get prosecuted.
Yeah, we don't need that. You and the clink does us no good. Well, how did you come about doing the tandem work with John O'Brien? Where, because I love A Shrouded World. I really do. Granted, I wish you guys could have kept the 2 main characters together more, but at the same time, I get why you didn't, because it really made the story flow. But how did y'all come about that? Was it just a random meet and greet and y'all had just a crazy idea?
Well, John and I both like to drink. So it was one of those things where we got together like, dude, we should write a book together, man. That'd be awesome. And then we actually did. So, I mean, that's the origin story of a Shrouded World. And,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. And he came out He came out to Maine once. He's out in Washington, a complete other side of the country. He came out to Maine, so we were gonna physically write together, and we partied all weekend long. And then like Sunday afternoon, we sit down and try to write. We're both hungover. Like Mike went to the store. I mean, we couldn't do anything. We couldn't even think straight. So that first book, and we had to work out the bugs too. But the first book took a few years to write, and then we got into a kind of a flow, kind of a routine.
Well, United States of Apocalypse is another one where you worked with a different author. Similar story as to how that happened?
When I first, not really. I don't think Armin drinks. Does Armin drink? But when I first started out, Armin was somebody that really offered a lot of help and guidance and words of wisdom. So it just seemed like a good fit to kind of write a book together. Then we I think for a year we did a podcast together, and then I think before the show started, we're like, hey, we should write a book together. That's kind of how that came about.
Well, again, I thoroughly enjoyed those, even though, you know how it is, like we all say we don't have our favorite kid per se, but yet everybody has their favorite kid. So, with United States of Apocalypse, A Shrouded World, obviously I'm biased. So I'm team Mike all day on that. But Darlene is a really cool character, I have to say. She grew on me. At first, I wasn't too sure about her character as far as how it would blend. And over time, and that character did really grow on me. I was pretty happy with that, especially considering my mom's name's Darlene. So
yeah, collaborations are fun to a point, but I think I'm going to kind of take a break from them. I feel like I've done a bunch over the last couple 2-3 years, so it's kind of always working around with schedules, or obviously when you're writing your book you write it the way you want, but then you doing a collaboration, you get outside things and you're like, I don't really like that. But so
kind of that old, my character wouldn't do that, you can't write it that way.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So I'm good.
I could see that. So your covers over the years, especially with Zombie Fallout, it's changed. You've updated, because I've got you're the main one. We flip her up, top shelf, the king up there. So that's obviously one of the newer covers or whatever. Did Amazon ever give you any crap about your covers being too violent or anything like that?
Hold on, I'm just sorry. I was looking.
He's scanning.
I had a
Sore subject.
What? No. Well, I'll show you the first cover. Let me grab that one.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
But that's we actually had a woman in Romania actually drew the very first Zombie Fallout cover.
Dude, that's cool.
Wow, that is cool indeed.
Yeah, and she did the second one, and that was like half as good. And then she did the third one, and that was half as good as the second. So I was like, ugh, the law of diminishing returns. So
Yeah.
that was the kind we were like, I think she did a fourth too, and I don't even know if that ever saw the light of day. So we kind of moved on from that. And then we started we went up, not in price, but I guess quality. But some of the images weren't great, and they were kind of haphazard. One was like this, one looked like that. And then we actually got sued for one cover because the cover artist had grabbed a piece of art that he did not get licensed for. I mean, out of the blue, like one Saturday morning, I'm like, I get served with this notice. We're suing you from like, what are you even talking about? I didn't make this, go after the guy. But because it's my book and I licensed it, or I was getting sued. That was a whole freaking thing. So that cover came down immediately. And then Tracy wanted, my wife, who runs the business aspect, she wanted to kind of keep all the covers in the same vein. And that's why we switched them up. I only got one cover that Amazon ever gave me crap for. Mike's like holding a gun sideways. I don't know why, but that's just the image we got. And you can't do ads or Amazon things with a gun pointing at you. Like,
Yeah.
It's a book cover, guys. Really?
Okay. Well, I'm going to show you something. And like Rich said, this is a sore subject. It's a sore subject for me just as a fan. So just a second.
Yeah, but I feel you, Mark. That's the one thing I'm always afraid with covers, that you cover all this starts off good, and then you always wonder, can they keep it up? Can they keep the same standard, or does it drop off?
Yeah,
You
and it's
know.
not like that you're doing covers for free either. They're expensive.
No, they are. No, I know. I understand. So
Oh yeah.
here we go.
Okay. Tell me what's wrong with this cover.
Nothing. It looks pretty violently awesome to me.
Well, Amazon don't want to push this book because it's too violent. Really? It's
I don't-
cartoons.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
it's
these,
mappable.
I mean, these are, monsters, and, these are Sasquatches. I mean, I don't see the problem.
No,
Yeah,
I
Just
don't.
saying.
Yeah, I mean they have dinosaur porn. I don't. Why is
Yeah, exactly.
why
That's
is
what I
that
was going to
cover an
say.
issue?
And I even filed an appeal for it, and Amazon turned around and said, nope, it's too violent. The gun's pointing too much towards the customer. And, I got cartoon Sasquatches chopping up cartoon zombies. And so I'm going to have to redo the cover if I want to launch an ad campaign on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Meanwhile, Richard, you got The Fifth Survivor too, my book, and that one I'm sure looks even worse than that. That one
Yeah.
looks more violent.
And this cover art was not, it was not 50 cents. It
Of course not.
paid a premium on that. Damn it.
Yeah, I know it hurts.
I want that on a t-shirt. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, Jack. I
But,
promise you.
I mean, the thing about it, Richard, I mean, honestly, that's an awesome cover, man. I would hate for you to change it, but yeah, I mean, if you want to get traction on Amazon, it's
So-
stinks.
So,
Custom
Mark,
ink, Richard. Custom ink.
Custom meat.
Yeah, that's for shirts.
so now seeing this
Let me
cover,
go to that.
Mark, what would you change to make Amazon okay with it?
Huh.
Oh, I'm not. God, I can't draw sticks.
Damn.
I
Same
don't.
here.
Question.
Add a
I-
smile.
Mhm.
I honestly don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, truly, it's a cartoon image. I mean, it's not even real.
Yeah, I know.
people.
Yeah.
I see anime covers look worse than that.
Yeah.
Really?
I think I'll just have the zombies all at the bottom of the shipping containers, and the Sasquatches and Rue, the one human up there, just waving hi to them. Maybe then we'll,
something like that.
Or do the
Making their
bullets.
fist.
Yeah, have the gun say bang.
Yeah.
yeah,
There it is.
Little
There
flag.
you go. There you go, Richard. You could try
Yeah.
that. I mean,
be throwing pies at them or something.
You'll sell 1 million. So
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
when you're not coming up with some other crazy situation to stick Mike, BT, and the gang in, what do you do in your free time?
Yeah, this is my career, and I've found out that being your own boss is terrifying, and I don't. Even when I have free time, I don't feel like I have free time. Like I should be
Yes.
doing something to further my cause or not fall behind. I do like to read, and I chill with the dogs, and then I do find things to quiet my mind, like I don't know, way up on the top there, but Legos I find are well, and I just the last couple of months, I know it's weirder as hell, but this thing called Diamond Art, I freaking love it. So hold on, if you get 2 seconds, my wife got me this. I just finished it.
Cool.
This is so cool.
Yes, I know, Jack. Calm down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's the diamond art.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Damn.
awesome.
So she
That is
sent,
awesome indeed.
she sent in a picture. They'll make a picture so that you can do the diamond art of anything you want.
I
Oh,
have
that's
got to get that for a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He is all into the diamond art. In fact, I bought her that.
What is it?
A Freddie, Jason, and Michael Myers thing for Christmas, and they're like standing around a big jack-o'-lantern.
Uh-huh.
And she did that one, and she's constantly doing one. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't even,
I think
What
I know
is
you're talking
diamond
about that.
art?
it's these little plastic like jewels, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And this picture has a backing on it, like a adhesive. And it's almost like a paint by number, but instead of painting, you put in the little jewels. So
It's
Yeah.
like little plastic beads.
Yeah, like, yeah.
yeah,
But
Are
they're,
they
yeah,
tiny?
yeah,
Are
very
they
tiny.
tiny?
I have a magnifying glass that I look down through onto the image so I can do it.
See, that's why
Oh,
when you
wow.
described it as something you do to help you relax and whatnot, I'm just thinking, dude, that is so tedious. My anxiety level would go
Oh,
through
yeah,
the
we kill me.
roof, man. I'd be nuts. I'd just be just throwing them at it. Just
No, it actually, I'm sure I've got ADD, ADHD, you throw some more OCD, and it stills all of that for me. I'm sure it's different from others, but like I can actually kind of like, oh, I don't have 2 books I need to edit. I'm not behind by 12,000 words, that kind of thing. I can just like, I have to put this little jewel down on this colored little
Yep.
square. So
you also like to bake too, right?
I love to bake.
I've seen
Oh,
on-
you too?
Usually
nice.
on the fan club, I think sometimes you post that you bake stuff. So what's the last thing you baked besides yourself? Uh-huh.
I did
Welcome to our
that last
show.
night. I do these peanut butter and jelly cookies
Everybody's a comedian here.
that are, oh my God, the peanut butter and jelly cookies are out of this friggin' world.
I've heard you mention those. Yeah.
I like to do breads. I'm really trying to, I don't know why, but Subway, the rolls they do, the Italian urban cheese rolls. I'm trying to recreate those. I'm not having much luck, but
Oh,
Those
that
are-
would be
that-
nice.
Those are actually
that's my favorite
my
bread.
favorite. Yeah.
Me too.
right
Yeah.
there.
I would love to be able to just do that. So I do a lot of breads. My wife does I do the cookies, cinnamon rolls, things like that. It's
You do
just,
pies?
I don't do a bunch of pies. I have made pies. I'm not very good at dough. I mean, at the pie crust.
I actually made a blueberry pie when I was younger. I was into baking myself when I was younger, but ever since moving down here to Puerto Rico, it's just too hot to do anything like that.
I wouldn't want to be in the kitchen cooking in that heat. No.
Nah,
No.
it's not very fun. I tried. It's not fun at all. So, but hey, but I always try to make a lemon meringue pie. That was always one I always trying to make, but it's tough.
to say the meringue would be the pain in the butt.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Now, since we're talking about baking, what's your cobbler game like?
Baking or baking?
I don't,
Well, you can bake while baking. The
yeah.
two go together.
Well, that's the best time.
Mhm.
I honestly, I would rather have a pie than cobbler if I'm being
Okay.
honest.
Yeah, I
I
got
like-
this thing with making like peach cobblers, blackberry cobblers, black and blue cobblers, which has blueberries, all that. 'Cause my mom's obsessed with them, and she's our normal resident cook / baker or whatever. So it kind of rubbed off a little bit.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not turning down cobbler. I'm saying if I'm going to cook, it would be a pie over a cobbler.
Yeah. I like a crisp better than a cobbler. I don't know why. I think a crisp is more because it's got the other ingredients in it, and cobbler is more cakey.
Yeah.
It's sticky, doughy.
Yeah.
See, I used to
wife
cook
makes-
a lot when I worked because I could always take it to work and they would woof and they'd be gone.
Yeah.
But there's only Michael and I, and we don't eat enough to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
No,
Now, at
that's the problem.
Christmas,
My wife makes a
Christmas
peach
time-
cobbler. Yeah, my
at
wife makes a
Christmas
peach
time,
cobbler.
I took cheesecake to church a couple times,
Mm.
and I shared cheesecake to the neighbors. Made cheesecake and gave like a quarter to this one and a quarter to that.
Yeah. If I made I usually make a New York style cheesecake, and it's
Yeah.
huge. And I have to like just keep a quarter of it, and then I have to give it away because it's
Yeah.
just, it's
But they're
humongous.
always impressed because cheesecake is so.
Well, and that's what sucks here. I don't know how many you know, but I live in the sticks in Maine. I'm not anywhere near anyone. And so if I make like a dozen cookies, my wife eats like one, and then I eat 11. You know, so it's like
Yeah.
I have to be careful with what I make, realizing that I'm going to probably eat 92% of them. So
Yeah. I only make that. Yeah. I only
Before
make that
COVID,
cheesecake.
I could make dozens of cookies and I could put them in a pan and take it to the PD and take it to the fire departments and drop them off, and everybody'd be happy.
Yeah.
You
But
can't
now-
do stuff like that now.
Well, now sticking along the lines of food, I know you're a big edibles guy. You make your own?
we do. We actually have a magical butter machine, which is fantastic.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that really helps out. You don't have to do all that crap on the stove.
Are the edibles as good as smoking it though?
You
Or as effective?
what I've learned is it's one or the other. For folks that smoke, edibles don't generally work. And then I used to smoke a lot way back in the day, but now with the stuff how potent it is, one hit and I go from like, hey, this is cool, to like, oh crap, I wish this was over. So I like the edibles for the fact that it works up. It's a nice, slow, steady, like, hey, this is cool. So yeah, I do not smoke anymore.
So I don't ever really do it, just because I'm the type of person that when I used to take a couple hits, I was out. Like it would knock me out. Like no problem sleeping.
That's what I want.
So what would it? Oh, really? Oh, then I wish I could give it to you, because I have no, like, I'm like, that's all it does to me. It makes me tired. So do you think an edible would be this, like, maybe like make me feel different? Or
I do. It's completely different. Yeah, because I have the same thing, Patty, with when I take a hit. This is insane.
it's like, why bother? I'm like, I just want to, my head feels like a 20-pound bowling ball, and I just want to put it down and knock out.
No, yeah, definitely an edible, and then I'd start off slow, somewhere in like the 5 milligram range, and just
Yeah.
see what that does for you.
Okay, yeah, I'll try that, because sometimes, I mean, I exercise a lot and whatever for stress relief, but sometimes you need a little something else.
Yeah, just start slow, because I last year I went to these folks' home. I didn't really know them very well, and the wife was trying to be very nice, and she made some edibles, but she didn't know what she was doing.
Oh.
And she's like, I don't think these are very strong, and she gave me this brownie, and I'm sitting there. It's about a half hour, 45 minutes later, and we were watching TV, and I just like, okay, I'm wicked stoned. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I'm even more stoned. And it just kept wrapping up.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
Oh, no.
I have to go to bed. And then I just sat in bed like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna sit here for like 2 hours and hope this goes away.
Oh, that's
Yep.
not enjoyable.
I tell you,
Oh,
I retired from the Air Force in just a little over a year. And so I'll be reaching out to you, Mark, for some good recipes.
All right.
I cannot
Thank
wait.
Thank you for your service, my brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. for
Okay,
yours.
well, I was worried about this actually. So, we got us a Marine, we got us an Air Force guy, and everything's going smooth. So it is possible that the two branches might not have to butt heads all. Now, granted, if Rich were Navy, that would probably be an issue. I'm sure.
Army generally is the one.
Ah,
Well, I'm prior Army too, but try not to hold that against me. But
I'm leaving.
I woke up screaming and went to the Air Force.
Oh God, I worked on an Air Force base for about a week, and I'm like, I joined the wrong damn branch.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Grass is greener on the blue side. I can promise.
oh
you that.
my friggin' word! I go into the chow hall, and they cooked to order. I was like, wait, what? And then they had revolving dessert trays. They had big screen TVs in the chow. I'm like, what the fuck is this place?
Yeah,
in the
I didn't
Marine
even
Corps,
know
they're
you can air condition a tent until I joined the Air Force.
I mean, Marine Corps was like prison, where they just go, here's your slop, get out of line. Wow.
I see we have a question here.
Hey, all
Uh,
right.
A
All right,
good question.
questions.
All right, we got. Would any of you met a character from one book show up and help a character from another off this book?
So you mean like, say, Mike Talbot bails Rue out, for example?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he would go. He would go to another book and help the main character in that particular book. That's what.
Okay.
That's what he was asking.
All right, Mark. If you could take Mike and BT and send them to another author's book, who would you want to send that team to help them out?
I don't. You know, it would be a hilarious. We have. I think it would be fun to write. I don't even know if I could write in this world. Because I don't know what this guy smokes. But David Wong, I think would be hilarious. John Dies at the End books.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
All right, Rich. What
Yeah.
about you?
Huh?
What about you? Where would you send Rue and Buford? What book series would you like to drop them into to help save the day?
Oh shit. I mean, I would love to see Rue and Buford pair up with Mike and BT any given day. That would just be awesome. You know, I got, you know, Rue is a veteran like Mike, and Buford is a Sasquatch.
That's
And,
awesome.
I want to
And
see
I
the
had
arm
the
wrestling
idea, now
match.
to my defense, before anybody claims me for copying, I had the idea for Rue and Buford when I was in my 20s, way before you wrote Zombie Fallout. So just,
I know. I probably stole it from you, man. So
you probably did. Well, you know, I published a book, you know, with Sasquatches and zombies, and then, you know, not too long after that, you publish a Bigfoot book, and so
well,
yeah,
I'm
I've
waiting
been
to see.
listening to it. Huh?
I'm Richard. I'm waiting to see what you do next, man. I'm not doing anything until I know what's coming next from you.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. Well, you'll
Yeah.
hear from my lawyers, but
Mhm. And as far
Boys.
as what he's got next, you'll find that out at the end of the show. The
Nice.
thing we always do. Let's just say a certain skinny person might be involved.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah,
yeah,
heard about that.
Yeah. Got a dastardly villain in my next book. So
Good job.
Jack, did you change your name on this thing?
I did.
That's hilarious.
Jack Tufo.
I've been Jack Sprat. I've been Jack Flash. I've been Jack Rabbit. And usually it's Randy, Javin's dad that does it. He'll get in there and change my name around. And then Angel pointed out that I didn't have a different last name. And I was like, oh, okay. Fix
I was
that.
gonna grab glasses, but I can just make it out.
Dude,
Nobody
I've hit
ever
that
wants
point.
my last name. Why?
Hey, because the only way you can do your last name is to enunciate it properly.
Yeah, you gotta have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
I could go back to my maiden name, and that's just boring.
If right.
Rah, rah.
I got told once that that can't be my name. CA hoax.
Why?
Because it's a hoax.
A hoax.
Oh,
I
See,
actually
I
did
only
catch
kept that
a little
name
slow
because my
today, aren't
mother.
I?
I only kept that name because my mother told me that my kids wouldn't know who I was when I divorced.
Okay.
So now, Mark, this is something I've actually
That
asked a
was
few authors in the past, because I see this a lot where they'll do like CA. You know, her name's Charlotte, but she goes with first initial, middle initial, last name, and there's like A.L. White. There's
Right.
different people with different names. Did you ever consider doing that early on when you first started publishing your books, like going M. dot, whatever Tufo?
We did when I started genre hopping, kind of thought maybe might do that because Tracy and I, we just honest to God, we stumbled into this how to do these things, and we did a lot of things we did them wrong or didn't know how to do them. And we thought maybe folks would get turned off by like, oh, you got a zombie series and a science fiction series, so maybe we should switch up the the author name. But and then I was actually gonna do a YA line for a while, and that was gonna be M.R.Tufo. So, but no.
Okay. Well, just just literally just popped into my head. I've been meaning to ask you this. Why are you so mean to Paul?
Okay, so
Paul
Paul
to a
is
bunch of cats, dude.
Paul
That's
is
tough.
Paul is based off of a real person,
Hmm.
and was it Zombie Fallout 5 or 6? I can't remember. I don't remember which one. But we lifelong friends, decades, and we had a falling out, and I was pissed. So if you couldn't notice, and to top it off, Paul loves cats. So I was like,
Oh.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Oh. Only
Like-
here, folks. Y'all find
Makes
this out.
more
You
sense.
Yo,
heard it.
yep, you know something new every day.
these things happen. Don't piss me off.
So now, so Gambo, where's he from?
Again, I don't know. I'm not ashamed, but I'm afraid to admit it. A fair amount of my characters are based off of, or at least roots in a real person. And Gambo Gary would be my brother. I mean, obviously, he's not like that, and you might not like the caricature I have made him, but that's where he came from.
Dude, him sitting up in the tree singing. That's just.
Well, no,
That's just-
my brother is huge into music, and he does have very dated methods of playing said music. So I was just having fun with that.
I just
That
get a
was
kick
brilliant.
how you always say, "Hey, he's just a slow runner," because I have a sister. I have 3 sisters, and she's 3 years older than me. The one I'm talking about, and we used to call her the Loper because that's when she ran. She would like run. So when you described Gary about in his running, I was like, oh, okay, I guess there's one in every family.
Well, to be fair, he is a prior Air Force. So
Oh, there you go.
No. Shots fired.
sorry, Richard.
funny.
It's there, man. I had to take it.
That's
Yeah, I
all
see another
good.
question here, guys.
Oh, here
Another,
we go.
another question.
All right, so we got. Would you all consider doing a crossover of all your characters in one book?
Ooh,
Wow.
that would
People
be
like a
a
lot
that,
of crossovers.
that would be an
That
epic.
would be an awful lot of collaboration.
That'd be like a retirement finale book right there. when
Ah,
you're
that's
writing
like,
the last book,
What I've found from working with other authors is I know this isn't, I'm not making this up, but it's honest to God, like herding cats. I tried to do this 4-person collaboration, and it was insane. Even the 3 I did with Chris Philbrook and David Moody, it was too many. It was way too many moving parts with 3.
Mm.
So now,
Yeah.
would you actually look maybe at doing something where it's an anthology layout where your story stands alone? Say Chris Philbrooks, for example, because that's who we're interviewing next week, by the way. His stands alone. Say Richard's in the book, so his stands alone, and yet somehow all the stories are tied together, and yet you could each write independently. Would that be something you might do?
We did something like that. God, who pulled that off?
Well, I've seen that one ad that's got you and Cheshire and a bunch of.
Well, we did this one, Middletown.
that one. That
Yeah.
one.
Middletown
Which is-
Apocalypse, yeah.
Kind of that same thing you're talking about. And I hate to get it all down to base level but it is a business ultimately. I do have to eat. I like to eat. I like to
Hey,
bake.
eating's good.
And anthologies just do not sell. They don't. If standalones are barely hold their own, anthologies a barren wasteland.
Yeah.
I've never seen them really take off. They just, I don't know. A lot of folks just aren't interested in reading 15 different shorts. I don't know. That's been my experience. I'm sure other folks have different experiences, but I think I've been probably a part of 5, 6, 7 anthologies, and I don't know if any of them ever paid for editing.
Damn.
As a reader, not a writer at all because I'm awful. I use when I'm kind of between my favorite authors and book series, and I'm not quite sure. That's kind of what I kind of go to those types, because then you can get a feel for somebody's writing, and then it might open up something for me to say, okay, I've never heard of this particular writer, and I really like this story. Let me see what else they have. So it's kind of, I guess, maybe a gateway to other discovering other authors a bit. So I do like the anthologies, but
Yeah, got two right
could-
there.
yeah, I mean, I can see how they probably aren't very profitable maybe in the long term, but
Yeah, well, and I'm long-winded too, so I don't feel like I get a proper footing in a short story, so I don't know if it's my best work. So that's probably part of my reason for not being a
Yeah.
giant fan of them either.
All right. So is it true then that your long-windedness is the reason that Zombie Fallout actually kept going? Because you've always said that your original plan was to kill Mike at the end of Zombie Fallout 1, but you were so long-winded that it just kind of carried on. Is that really true?
That's really true. I mean, that was the intention. It was going to be a one and done, because I was not, by no stretch of the imagination, did I consider myself a writer or an author. I was, and certainly when Zombie Fallout 1 came out, I wasn't making any money. So it was just an exercise in a way to get my headspace back, because laid off and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I was writing 1 and I was like, I think this is going to take about 3 books to flesh out. And then immediately 3 was 4, 4 was 6, and then 6, honest to God, I was going to, like, I'm done. I got an ending. I'm good. And that was about a year later. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not quite done. So
Thank God for that.
here we are, 16 books later. So
yeah.
So now you wedged Demon Fallout kind of in the midst of all this. Was that one of those you woke up from a dream, or did you actually have that planned out?
Oh, well, Demon Fallout really belongs in the Lycan Fallout universe.
Mhm.
And in hindsight, I probably should have had a better naming convention. I don't know. Sometimes as an author, you live on an island and you don't have any input. So you're like, that's the best idea ever. And you don't have anyone to tell you, dude, no, that's stupider than shit. You should probably rethink this. But no, it was because at the end of Lycan Fallout 4, that's kind of where it was headed, down into the underworld. And then I kind of tinkered with the idea of making that Demon Fallout into its own series. But I don't know, I kind of wrapped it up and flowed it right into Lycan Fallout 5.
Because I was definitely hoping that was going to continue on, because I can't remember the little character's name, but the little pocket pick, that little thing. I
Oh.
want that back.
Linux. Yeah.
Yes.
Linux.
I love that character. Oh my God, that character was so awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed her too. She was fun.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm the only person in the room here that has some bit of sympathy for Eliza, but I absolutely love that character. And in your mind's eye, was she just completely unequivocally evil, or was there any underlying redeeming factors about her?
No, I mean, I don't know about redeeming factors, but I don't know if you could call her, well, you could call her unequivocally evil, but you could see why she was. I mean, certainly if she had just lived out her life in those brutal, harsh conditions in the Germanic tribes she was raised in, did her 18, 19 years and just passed. But, then she had 400, 500 years to fester. So, she definitely started off life on the wrong foot. So
the 3, I call them the 3 sisters that came along, the 3 female vampires. There's a scene involving them and some kids in the woods that was absolutely shocking. Where did those 3 girls come from?
Well, I dug the idea of the vampires in the series, which is hilarious because I actually caught a lot of crap about that from that's not true zombie lore. You can't have vampire like, dude. It's
Why
my book.
not? Do
Dude,
what
it's
you
my
want.
book. I can do whatever the hell I want. You know, if you don't like it, write a book where you don't have them. But I liked the idea of having I missed the vampires actually. You know, with Eliza gone, so it's like, well, how do I bring that back into the scene? You know, how do I get that back into the stories? I don't even know if I answered your question, but that's.
Well, it's like, Richard was asking, about Eliza being as evil as she was. Dude, you topped her when you brought those three in. You made her sympathetic in a roundabout sort of way. Like, we were like, kill these three, fix her, and we're good. Because when the big Tommy reveal happened, dude, you want to talk about flooring people. I mean, just speaking as a fan, dude, I was knocked off my seat. Like, wait a minute, Tommy's a what?
He's not really talking to Ryan Seacrest?
Yeah. It's like, what in the hell? And of course,
all of that too was not planned. Like, I would love to tell all you folks I got this big giant whiteboard off to the side with yarn pointing to the characters and how they relate to each other and clipboard and notes. Tommy wasn't supposed to make it off the Walmart roof ever.
Wow.
He was not any relation to anybody. I'm just trying to generalize with avoidance. Eliza was not who she was. That in book one she was. So I mean, I was going to keep her more, I guess, like a zombie general type thing, as opposed to what she actually became. So I mean, just things. BT. I mean, if you noticed in book one, there was no real interaction. So I mean, that they weren't going to be friends because obviously I was only going to do the one book. So just a lot of things evolved as I wrote 17 books.
Well, we're glad.
Well, yes, damn right we're glad.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one question for you, Mark. Mark, have you heard of the genre Knit RPG? Have you ever heard of it?
I have. I've
Have
had
you checked
folks
any
to do some, and I think that's out of my wheelhouse. It's just not something I know.
I mean, I gotta tell you, it's a fun genre, man. But you got to be a gamer. You got to know your stuff because the readers are harsh in the RPG.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have my feet held to the fire like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I would honestly, Mark, I would like to see you try. I mean, I would read it. I mean,
I would.
Look, Jack, he didn't know anything about Knit RPG. Now he's hooked on my stuff. So,
yep. There ain't nothing cooler than getting to a point where a hero's about to take a swing at a bad guy and dice roll. It's like, damn. It's actually a really neat
second
thing.
part of the question, Mark, are you into Dungeons and Dragons?
I have played. Funny enough, it wasn't something I did in my youth.
Yeah, same here, man. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was actually when I was in the Corps and we had some downtime. There's one of my fellow Marines was like, "Hey, you want to play this Dungeons and Dragons?" I'm like, "Wait, what? We're trained killers, dude. I'm not sitting down and playing a friggin' board game." I ended up playing the board game, and I was a paladin, and I loved it. It was friggin' great. So.
Yeah, man, it's fun, and because Jack, when he read my books, he's a big on Final Fantasy, So am I. I mean, at least the earlier titles, the later titles, not so much. I need to up to Final Fantasy 7, and then after that, it just drops off. But yeah,
very much so. So, do you have a bug out bag?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm defending the homestead. So.
Okay, well, be sure to DM all of us the address so when the shit hits the fan, because I'm either headed south to Javins or I'm headed north to you. It just depends on traffic.
I'm telling you right now, man. I am in the middle of nowhere. I could go outside my yard right now, do a 360, and couldn't see a neighbor to save my life.
You lucky bastard.
And I love it, and that's why I'm here. So.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in Gallatin, Tennessee, in an apartment surrounded by a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. God, I
you know,
envy y'all.
yeah, when I was in Colorado, we lived in a townhome, and our neighbor, I shit you not, older Russian gentleman who loved to call the fatherland when he was shit faced in the middle of the night, and he would be in his backyard screaming in Russian to his fatherland people. It's like, ego, dude. Some of us have to fucking work tomorrow, man. Shut the hell up. So that was ego was kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to maybe get a little plot of land, you know.
Can't blame you for that, especially under the current conditions. Geez, the further away you can get from people. What the hell? That goes to even show you, though. I said, I just got over the big cove. You're just getting over the big cove, and I'm in the city. You're in the middle of nowhere, and yet here we are.
You know, we had a very small gathering come Christmas Eve, and you know, one of the people brought more than gifts. It was like, thank you.
Not fun. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
I mean, I appreciate you being so responsible with your germs or
It's like,
viruses.
hey, Mark, here's your antibodies.
I'm just getting over it now. My wife has it.
You know what's I don't want to get into vaxxed, unvaxxed, what you believe, what you believe in.
Yeah,
No.
This
we don't do
person,
that here.
No.
that brought the virus was in and out of the hospital 3 times, knocking on the door. Whereas I had one of the worst weeks of my life in terms of illness. So take from that what you will, but and I'm still, I mean, we're talking over a month and I'm still not 100%. Like my stamina is for crap.
Same here. I call it COVID aftershocks. It's like, I'll be fine, everything's cool, and just drops off. We had to reschedule, or we're trying to reschedule John O'Brien, speaking of which, because the week we were supposed to interview him is the week I got struck down, and all I could do was sleep. I literally couldn't get out of bed. Like, I was just done.
I was with you, Jack. I had a bad back pain. I was out too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got the chills so violently, I was getting Charlie horses on my body. Like,
Ooh,
yeah,
that
like,
sounds
I'm
painful.
shaking, and my body and my muscles were seizing, and it was, that was fun. That was a good time.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I didn't have COVID, but I had a sinus infection, and getting antibiotics for anything takes an act of God. I've got Kelsey Sibo, which is an Advantage program, and they have an online thing where you're supposed to be able to get a video visit. They want you to go out and get a COVID test before you can get an online visit from a doctor.
Wait,
Now,
online?
And I couldn't even get off the couch because I had such a bad sinus headache that I couldn't barely get up and go to the bathroom. And it's just me and Michael.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, if you're just calling for a sinus infection, why would they make you go? I don't know. I don't understand.
Everything is tainted with COVID. So anyway, this is on a Sunday. So I had some erythromycin around here, and I took it 1,000 milligrams a day, and it was enough to knock it back enough that I had a doctor's appointment anyway on Thursday. So I go in there, and it's for another issue, and I raise hell about the fact that I can't get online. And I said, this is ridiculous. When the website won't even let me get online to get something as simple as antibiotics for a sinus infection, this is screwed up. And I talked to her and I said, I need antibiotics to get over this sinus infection because I could only take the erythromycin for 4 days. That's not enough. And it's flaring up again. You need to give me antibiotics for that. Well, she looked at my eye, which has it has something on the inside of the lid, lower lid. I think it's a skin cancer. But anyway, the bottom line, she refers me to another doctor. She can't do jack shit. So anyway, she doesn't give me antibiotics for the sinus infection. And so it starts flaring up. By Friday, I'm getting another headache. So I email her, you need to go get a COVID test. I said, we've already been through this. And I start bitching at her. I said, basically, I have a sinus infection. We went through this. Well, I don't show you've had any antibiotics previously. I said, we went through this discussion and I told you what I took. I told you how many days I took it. And I said, if I have to, I'll go to the local medical clinic, since obviously having Kelsey SIBO Advantage is obviously not going to do me any good, since you guys can't look beyond your nose. You must be getting a kickback from the goddamn government.
It's like going to a military doctor. You ask for antibiotics and they'll give you Sudafed Mucinex. You know, antibiotics, it's like asking for PCP. You're not going to get it.
Well, I may as well go to the local CVS and get their physician's assistant to give me antibiotics for a sinus infection, or go to the local Mediclinic and pay $50 and get it. Because obviously my local doctor is not going to give it. So she finally relented and gave me amoxicillin, and I'm getting over the sinus infection. Because I don't have COVID, I have a sinus infection. I am 73 years old. I've had sinus issues most of my adult life. I know what a sinus infection is. Stop treating me like a blithering idiot. It pisses me off, and I will cuss your ass out.
This is very true. And hey, on that note, thank you, Mark, for actually letting us run a little over here today. Normally try to wrap these things up in about an hour. Obviously, we're greedy. We finally got you. You're here. You're right there.
Sorry, you were sick,
it's him.
Mark.
This is a Kathy Bates
Yes.
moment. You're not allowed to leave.
Yeah. So you're pretty much
Wait,
stuck
There
with
is
us.
my. What
The
was
movie
it
or the-
you used to
The
have?
movie or the book?
I'm gonna go
Well,
with the book.
the
'Cause it's
book's
always more
worse.
brutal in the book.
Yeah, the book is more
Yeah.
brutal.
That is,
Always
man.
the book.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody at home, once again, thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Written Undead podcast. Thank you, Mark Tufo. I swear to God, thank you so much. I love you so much.
Yes, Jack.
I've been
Yeah,
holding
man.
it. I've been holding it the whole time. I can't hold it anymore.
He's
Yeah,
It's
man.
good to
Yeah.
see
again.
everybody's
Awesome. It was an awesome
recovering.
day today.
Please
Thanks for
keep
having me,
writing.
Great having you.
Please don't stop putting Mike and BT and Tracy and some of the craziest damn situations you can come up with. Please keep doing what you're doing. You are a fantastic author. You need to be on the big screen, the small screen, some freaking screen. Again, as always, Richard Ryan Rose, where can we find you, my brother?
All right. Well, you can find me on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, Goodreads, and Audible, and iTunes. Wild Eyed Southern Boys prequel novellas coming out. Looks like by next month, I've got my narrator on the hook. I've got my cover artist on the hook and my editor. So we are, things are rolling.
Well, hey, no
Um,
crazy violent cartoons now.
Yeah, no credit. Now I'm gonna have to redo the damn the damn cover page. So we'll probably see some ad campaigns coming on in the very near future. So tune in, and we'll also mark this date on your calendar, March 7th, or excuse me, May 7th of this year. There'll be the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival in no other place other than Townsend, Tennessee, the setting of Wild Eyed Southern Boys.
Ah,
I will have a booth set up and be doing book signing and giving away and selling all kinds of swag. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Hey, not
Good
trying to
job.
give anything away, but the Bear Baron is going to make an appearance.
oh, the Bear Baron better be there.
Just so everybody know. Angel Ramon, where can we
Yes,
find you,
sir.
man?
Yep. Mike's just Mike Richard. You can find me on Amazon, Audible. You can also find me on the Written Undead every day, posting interesting stuff. You can find me on my group, the Legionnaires of Antius Maximus, which is more historical fiction oriented. And as for what I'm working on right now, I'm taking a break from the Betrayal of the Arcanine series with the zombie dragons and all that. and I'm doing more of a historical fiction, a Greek, where the main character gets to summon gods and build cities and all that. But it's gonna be gods in it, so he'll be able to summon the Minotaur, Zeus, and all that good stuff. So be on the lookout.
All right, CA.
Well, you can find me on Amazon and Amazon Unlimited, Terra in Texas, and the Torn Apart series. There's 5 books now, and Audible will soon be coming out, and a new book series, Nation Betrayed, will be coming out soon, having the cover done right now. Let's see. Working on book 6 for Torn Apart series. So I'm
Which is
busy,
right
busy,
back there.
busy. Glad everybody's getting over their recent bouts of COVID.
No doubt.
Jack,
All right, Mark,
baby.
it's your time to shine, baby. Where can everybody find you that don't know that? Well, you're basically the king of all things. So fill in the few people that don't know you.
Tell my wife that. That'll go over well.
I am not stepping to Tracy. Screw you. No.
For you,
We are not getting the finger of doom.
you could probably find me all over the Pirate Bay. So that's your best bet. All the normal places, Amazon, Audible. I'm all over Facebook, got a couple of fan pages and stuff. So, and I should be relatively easy to get a hold of, whether you instant message me or email. So that's about it. And
Well, all right.
I'll be at Tennessee on May 7th, seeing what Richard's up to. So
Yeah.
Get some
That-
swag.
Hey, you're welcome there, man. I'll make a big announcement once you get there.
The state will never be the same.
I mean, for Pete's sake, Mark Tufo, Richard Ryan Rose, the Bear Baron, all in the same place at the same time. What could go wrong?
it's funny.
We
I
should have our own festival.
I did a vote to see which state I should visit, and actually Tennessee won.
Really?
We're always trying to tell people how much our state sucks because everybody keeps coming here.
All those Yankees.
I
keep
guess it
coming back.
doesn't suck. Hey, Jack, I guess it doesn't suck.
Nah, it don't. It's pretty awesome. What am I gonna say? Well, without further ado, thank you everybody for showing up here today and hanging out with all of us. Mark, again, dude, you're the man. Thank you again. And hopefully I don't get on your nerves bugging you from time to time, because it's gonna happen. With that, for Richard, for Angel, for Patty, for CA, for Mark, I am Jack Childress. This is the Written Undead podcast, and we are out.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Hi, it was a
See you
pleasure.
in May.
Loved it.